Hi everybody, I'm Jerry Paul and I'm an indie author and welcome back to my channel. I write young adult fiction across a variety of genres, and if it's something that might interest you, then think about subscribing below. So today I'm going to do a new tag that I saw on Hannah Leclerc's channel. I will link her video below. It's got 5 prompts. It's called the Bibbidi Boppidi Boo Indie Publishing tag, and I'm just going to go right through it now. So prompt number 1, name a specific genre that you'd like to see more indie authors write. It's really hard for me to answer this because I write across genres and I read across genres, so there's not one genre that I feel is lacking indie author wise. I read across indie, trad, pub and everything in between, like hybrid authors as well, so I read a lot of books. I read like 450 something last year, so it's really hard for me to narrow down a genre that I feel is lacking. I mainly read like crime mystery, young adult, urban fantasy and such like that. Occasionally I'll read romance as well. So for me, I don't really feel that there is a specific genre that I feel is lacking in indie authors. If I had to name one specific genre, it would be young adult romantic suspense, which I know is really hard to do, which is one of the reasons why there aren't many people in it. But I really feel like that could be one that blooms. Like romance itself is really big on indie authors and it's really big full stop, but I just feel like that one there could do with more indie authors in it writing their own stories. Prompt number 2, some of the craziest stories ever written or independently published. Name the most extreme underground author you've heard of. Now I tried to, before I started recording this video, go through my Goodreads list because I read someone a couple of years ago that really wasn't that well known, but was also very extreme in the stories they told, and I felt like they would very much be an underground author. It was a series and it was a crime series, and some of it was told from the point of view of a character and some of it was told from the point of view as the author as a character. It was weird and wonderful and just not all that sure what I felt about it at the time. But I can't find him on my many Goodreads because it was a couple of years ago. I've read like 600 books since then, so it's really hard for me to narrow down who it was. I know it was a man, I know it was indie published, and I know that the first 3 books weren't from the author's point of view, and then the last book in the series was. And I know I read it around 2020 time because it was just starting to talk about lockdown. So yeah, that doesn't narrow it down, does it? Number 3, share an unpopular opinion about indie books, authors, or the overall underground scene based on your personal experience. I don't really know if I have any unpopular opinions. I'm pretty much along the same lines as everybody else in the fact that I would like to see more indie and I would like to see more indie do well. I feel like sometimes there is this big divide between indie and trad, and while both have their drawbacks, both also have their wins. I think too much of the time we're sort of like pitted between us and them, and it shouldn't be like that because like there are enough readers to go around. There are some readers that won't touch indie, but there are some readers that only read indie, and then there are the ones in between. So like there's enough to go around, so we don't have to like fight each other for readers, because readers don't just read one book, they read as many books as they want to read. I think that's as close to an unpopular opinion as I'm going to get. And number 4, the indie scene is all about making new discoveries. Share your primary means of discovering new indie books to read. So I'm a member of a couple of Facebook groups. It's one of the places that I get books to review on my blog, so it's a YA space. I use that to get a lot of indie books to read. Sometimes I come across ones that are well known, sometimes I come across ones that are lesser known, but if the cover and the blurb are something that I'm interested in, I will pick it up, read it, review it, etc. Otherwise, I will go searching on Amazon, which I know sounds like a weird place to go for indie books because how can you tell? Sometimes you can't tell, sometimes you can, other times it is impossible to tell, but I read a lot of books. I think we've already established that, and so I will go looking for indie books that I know, authors I know and authors I don't know and stuff like that, but mostly Facebook groups and stuff like that will be the place for me to find new to me indies that I'd like to support. Number 5, word of mouth may help others discover something interesting about the underground scene. Tag some people. So I'm not going to tag anybody because Hannah didn't actually tag me. She tagged, I think she did tag people, but I can't remember. I decided to do it anyway. So I'm just going to leave this open to anybody who wants to do it. They are welcome to. The questions will be down below. So yeah, that's the Bibbidi Boppidi Boo tag, and I don't know if I did a good job, but hopefully I did. So what's one specific genre that you'd like to see more indie authors writing? Let me know in the comments down below. It's also got a time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media and my books are available everywhere, and you can also sign up for my newsletter. And don't forget to pick up Invisible, which is the first in a young adult dystopian quartet. And also don't forget to grab a ticket for Wonderland in Nottingham in July 2025, where I will be signing books, all the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.